Picture this. You're sitting in the stands, surrounded by a vibrant sea of colors, and the deafening roar of the crowd washes over you. The energy of the 2026 tournament is absolutely electric. Welcome to this explainer. Now, whether you've been following the sport for years and just want a quick refresher, or you're gearing up for your very first massive stadium experience in 2026, we are breaking down the absolute fundamentals of football. Because you know what? Understanding the nuances of the rules totally transforms the game from a chaotic scramble into this beautiful strategic chess match. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to decode the pitch layout, cover the game structure, clarify those basic ball laws, crack the scoring system, review some common fouls, and finally, look at the tech gearing up for 2026.
All right, Part 1. Decoding the pitch layout. Let's map out the battlefield. You know it, you love it. The penalty box, also known as the 18-yard box. This is, without a doubt, the most dangerous zone on the pitch for a defending team. Why? Well, for one, it's the only place on the entire field where the goalkeeper is legally allowed to use their hands to catch, punch, or block the ball. But for the defenders, it's literally a minefield. If a defender commits a major foul inside this box, the attacking team gets way more than just a regular free kick. They get a penalty kick. We're talking a free, unopposed shot on goal from just 12 yards out. Moving out to the edges of the grass, we've got the touch lines. These are those really long lines running down the left and right sides of the pitch, and they strictly dictate the outer boundaries of play. The moment the ball crosses these lines, boom, play completely stops, and we restart with a throw-in. These lines are the absolute limits of the game's universe.
Okay, Part 2, game structure and setup. Let's talk timing and teams.
So the whole shebang is an intense 90-minute clash, split perfectly into two 45-minute halves. And here's the kicker. Unlike a lot of other sports, the clock doesn't stop when the ball goes out of bounds or when a foul is called. It just keeps ticking continuously. Any time lost to, say, injuries or goal celebrations is simply tallied up and added on by the referee at the very end of the half. That's the famous stoppage time you always hear about. And battling it out there, exactly 11 players on each side, usually 10 field players and one goalie. It is a massive test of endurance. Moving right along to Part 3, basic ball laws, keeping the game alive.
Now this right here is a classic trap, even for longtime watchers. Say a ball looks like it's mostly out, but a tiny sliver of it is still hovering over the white paint. Guess what? That ball is absolutely 100% still in play. For the ball to actually be out of bounds, the entire sphere has to completely cross the outer edge of the boundary line. If even a microscopic fraction is over the line, the game goes on. It leads to some incredibly dramatic moments where players are just sprinting to save a ball dancing right on the edge.
Part 4. Cracking the scoring system. How to actually get a legal goal on the board.
Let's pause for a quick pop quiz to test your instincts. Imagine this scenario. An attacker takes a blistering shot. The ball hits the post, bounces down, and rolls across the goal line. But, right at the last second, a desperate defender slides in and kicks it away before it's fully inside the net. Half the ball was over the line, half wasn't. So what's the call? Is it a goal?
Nope, no goal. Just like our out-of-bounds rule we literally just talked about, 100% of the ball must cross the entirety of the goal line between the posts and under the crossbar for it to count. In major tournaments like the 2026 World Cup, referees actually wear a special watch synced to goal line technology. The literal millisecond that entire sphere crosses the line, the ref's watch buzzes with the word goal. If it's only 99% over, play on, no goal.
Part 5. Common fouls and penalties. Basically what happens when the rules are broken. Aha, the handball. Probably one of the most heavily debated technical fouls in all of sports. It specifically penalizes field players who use their hands or arms to get an unfair advantage. And by the way, that applies to any part of the arm, from the fingertips right up to the bottom of the shoulder. But here is the thing. Intent and body position really matter. If a player is intentionally making themselves bigger, creating what refs call an unnatural silhouette, and the ball strikes their arm, the whistle is gonna blow for sure. It's a razor-thin line the defenders have to walk every single game. In a clean tackle, the defender expertly slides in and makes firm contact with the ball first. If they get the ball first, that's perfectly legal, even if the attacker trips over them right after. But flip that around. If the defender is just a split second late and makes careless or reckless contact with the player's legs before touching the ball, foul. Timing is literally everything. Miss the ball and hit the player, and you're handing over a free kick, or worse, grabbing a colored card.
And then we have offsides. This one is often considered super tricky, but just think of it as the ultimate anti-cherry-picking law. It demands high tactical awareness so attackers don't just camp out right next to the opposing goalie waiting for a long pass. Basically, when a teammate passes the ball forward, the receiving attacker has to have at least 2 opposing players, which is usually the goalkeeper and 1 defender, between themselves and the goal line. If the attacker slips behind that last defending line before the ball is kicked, the flag goes straight up and the play is dead.
Finally, Part 6, gearing up for 2026 and the tech you're going to see heavily featured.
You know that dramatic moment when a massive stadium suddenly goes completely dead quiet, or maybe a huge chorus of boos erupts during a controversial play? That's usually the VAR review process stepping in. It's a very sequential process. It starts when a clear and obvious error happens. Maybe the ref missed a penalty or an offside goal slipped through. The video assistant referee, who is sitting in a room packed with monitors, reviews multiple camera angles. If they spot a mistake, they advise the on-field ref through an earpiece. The on-field ref might even jog over to a sideline monitor to see the replay for themselves. But here is the absolute most important takeaway. VAR only advises. The on-field referee always makes the final official decision.
So armed with all of this from our explainer, you are officially ready for the stance. You've got the pitch layout down, you understand the grueling 90-minute continuous structure, you know exactly when a ball is out or when a goal is truly a goal, and you can decipher those offsides and VAR decisions like an absolute pro. But honestly, understanding the rules is just the beginning of the fun. The real magic happens in how teams brilliantly bend these rules to their advantage. So how will you use this fresh perspective to analyze the tactical masterclasses and the shocking upsets of the 2026 World Cup? Keep your eyes on the pitch, and we'll see you next time.